And now the news in details. Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri has revealed how his absolute faith in God earned him the sobriquet Miracle Governor, according to a statement by his Chief Press Secretary Daniel Alabra on Saturday. The governor stated this on Friday during the Kolokuma Opokuma Local Government Area Annual Day of Thanksgiving held in the Sampor area of the state. Diri disclosed how in 2020, a senior citizen of Nigeria invited him to Abuja and advised him to perform certain rituals if he wanted to be governor, but he returned down the offer. He said that at the time, he had challenged the All Progressives Congress candidate's declaration as the winner of the November 2019 governorship election, and the matter was then pending at the Supreme Court. Diri told the crowd at the gathering that the senior citizen flew in some marabouts from Senegal to perform the rituals, and when he bluntly rejected the offer, he said the man demanded a refund of the money spent to transport them into the country, and he had to pay him the sum of $10,000. He explained that his unshaken faith in God made him decline the advice to look elsewhere for help, saying God against all the odds proved that he is always faithful, and stressed the need for politicians to learn from his experience and put their trust in God rather than man. The governor stated that the Koga people have reasons to be thankful to God, given the level of development they have witnessed, and thanked the council for giving Thanksgiving Day legal backing through legislation. Local government election tribunals inaugurated over the October 5th, 2024 chairmanship and councillorship poll held in Akwa Ibom State have dismissed all 13 petitions filed against the People's Democratic Party. State's legal advisor of the PDP, Ekemini Uba Esquire, who disclosed these to newsmen on Friday evening in Uyo, said the 13 cases were filed by the All Progressives Congress. According to Uba, the tribunals for Uyo Akwa Ibom Northeast and Ikorikbene Akwa Ibom Northwest senatorial districts, chaired by George Itwin and Samuel Akpabio, respectively dismissed the cases for incompetence as they were filed out of time. Reflecting on the development, Uba explained that the petitions were filed against the candidates for the chairmanship of Abak and Ibionibom local government areas and for the councillorship in 11 of the 14 wards in Ibionibom local government area. Fielding questions from newsman, State Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Mr. Edwin Ebiese, explained that the party only lost one councillorship seat in Ika local government area, the Esienudem chairmanship seat, and few councillorship seats in same local government area. Ex-Miss Nigeria and former First Lady of Delta State, Miss Edna Ibru Nipak, is dead. Ibru, wife of Olorogun Felix Ibru, the first civilian governor of Delta State between 1991 and 1992, died in her 80s on Wednesday in a London hospital after a brief illness. The deceased, who was Miss Nigeria in 1964 and the first Nigerian African to represent Nigeria at Miss Universe, had 2 children for Ibru. The Ibru family of Agbaha Oto Kingdom in Delta State confirmed the death of the former First Lady in a statement issued by her son, Dr. Paul Ibru, copies of which were made available to journalists in Warri on Saturday. Paul added that arrangements for a burial would be announced by the family later. Delta State's internally generated revenue has witnessed remarkable growth under the administration of Governor Sheriff Oberveri, reaching over 110 billion naira annually. The Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniagu, has said. The Commissioner disclosed this during an interview on Saturday. He addressed concerns about a purported decline in IGR due to a drop in percentages, noting that the perceived decrease was a result of the expansion of the state's budget. Aniagu, while elaborating on the governor's strategic approach to revenue generation, emphasized that it is not designed to burden residents but to expand the tax net. The Commissioner highlighted the administration's focus on fostering equitable economic growth by ensuring that taxation aligns with developmental benefits, Speaking further, he pointed out that the government's efforts to improve infrastructure, healthcare, and education are pivotal to the strategy. The commissioner also praised Governor Oborevwori's commitment to transparency as he cited his open-door policy and willingness to receive constructive feedback. Aniago, who resumed office as Commissioner for Public Information earlier in the week, assured residents of Delta that the government's efforts to expand the tax base will yield long-term benefits, including job creation, improved services, and a stronger economy. Edo Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Benin City on Friday, admitted 1,004 documents tendered before it by Dr. Asue Ighodalo, the People's Democratic Party candidate in the election. Its hearing reports that the candidate and his party are challenging the conduct of the election, as well as the declaration of the All Progressives Congress candidate, Monday Okwebolo, as winner of the election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Ken Mosiah, counsel to the petition, attended the documents at the resume hearing of the petition. The 1,004 documents tendered are all admitted as exhibits by the three-man tribunal chair by Justice Wilfred Pochi. The documents included the certified true copies of INEC Declaration of Results, Forms EC8A, E, and Local Government Area Summary of Results used for the conduct of the September 21st, 2024 governorship election in the state. Also, there are certified true copies of Form EC8Cs covering the 18 local government areas in the state. Despite the objection to the admissibility of the documents by Respondents' Counsel, which include Kanu Agabi, SAN, Onyechi Ikweadu, SAN, and VC Debigwe, the tribunal admitted them as exhibits. The Respondents' Counsel said they would be given further objections to the petitioner's CTC documents at the final address of the petition. Justice Wilfred Pochi-led tribunal, however, provisionally admitted all the documents tendered in evidence and marked them as exhibits. Operatives of the Benin Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested 25 suspected internet fraudsters in an alleged cybercrime training center in Benin City, Edo State. A statement by the commission on Saturday said the suspects were arrested on Friday. The EFCC said the suspects arrested at their hideouts were triggered by credible intelligence that indicated that participants was being used as a Yahoo Academy or training school for internet-related fraud and other fraudulent activities. Items recovered from the suspects include 6 exotic cars, laptops, and phones. The statement said investigations were ongoing to unravel the extent of the suspect's criminal network. The agency reiterated its commitment to eradicating cybercrime in Nigeria, calling on all the public to remain vigilant and provide credible information to aid their operations. This latest crackdown is part of the EFCC's broader strategy to dismantle criminal syndicates and restore public confidence in the fight against financial crimes. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has revealed reasons behind his frequent visit to Abuja, saying it is in the best interest of the state. The governor made the disclosure during the first anniversary Thanksgiving service of his second term in office at Maria Assumpta Cathedral, Owerri, while responding to remarks by the Catholic Archbishop of Owerri Ecclesiastical Province, His Grace Most Reverend Lucius Iwejuru Ugoji. Ugoji had in his homily advised Uzodinma to be more present in the state rather than spending so much time in Abuja. However, in response to the Archbishop's advice, the governor said the state is among those that make up Nigeria, and for any state to derive the maximum benefits from the federal government, its leadership must maintain a robust presence at the national level. Uzodinma said as the chairman of the APC Governors Forum and the Southeast Governors Forum, respectively, the two positions made it necessary for him to be in constant touch with Abuja. The governor maintains that how often a governor stays at home cannot be a useful yardstick to determine his administration's achievements. He said a good leader must leverage every available opportunity to advance the cause of his citizens. In a similar vein, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Electronic and Creative Media, Ambrose Nwaogu, said the presence of the governor in Abuja has proven what he termed indispensable results in the area of attracting federal government interventions to the state. Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has launched a new security operation in the state to curb the spate of kidnappings, killings, car snatching and other vices. He promised to pay up to 5 million naira to whistleblowers who provide information that leads to the arrest of any kidnappers. The governor will launch Operation Udoga Achi, meaning peace shall reign, also unveiled the state's new security agency, Agune Chimba, which he said comprised over 2,000 operatives drawn from various security agencies. Soludo had earlier in the day disbursed about 200 vehicles to various security agencies to strengthen the operations. The governor regretted that initially people linked the criminals to the Biafran struggle, while many others who watched events shortly before the 2021 governorship election attributed it to politics. He said today it has been found to have nothing attached to politics or even Biafra's struggle, but typically as an enterprise geared towards making money. He added that security agencies are doing the best in the state and he is out to ensure that they function properly by providing logistical support and also declaring full war if need be. Lagos State government has ordered the closure of Smiley Kids Montessori School located in Heritage Place Estate, Sangotedo, following a swimming pool accident that claimed the life of a 2-year-old girl, Rafaela Ogbodo. Twitter account on Saturday. According to the statement, officials from the Lagos State Safety Commission and the Office of Education Quality Assurance under the Ministry of Education have visited the school to conduct a preliminary investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The school has been sealed off to allow for a thorough investigation and to identify potential lapses that led to the unfortunate death. ATN reports that on Thursday that a Nigerian woman identified simply as Ella had called for justice following the death of her 2-year-old daughter at a school in Lagos. She explained that her daughter left for school on Wednesday but did not return alive. Justices Halima Saliman and Mahmoud Abdul Ghaffar of the Kwara State High Court in Ilorin have convicted and sentenced 6 individuals for fraud-related offences. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission revealed these in a statement on its official X handle at official EFCC on Saturday. The convicts include Akimbehi Temitope, Oluwaseyi Ajayi Elijah Olaoluwa, Samson Babatunde Ilashomi, Quadri Olamileko, Lamidi Kolawale, Kehinde Moses, and Olatunji Elijah Olabisi. According to the EFCC, the individuals were prosecuted by its Ilorin Zonal Directorate on various charges, including retention of proceeds of criminal activities, cheating, impersonation, and internet fraud. The EFCC noted that the defendants all pleaded guilty to their respective charges. Prosecuting counsel Sesen Ola and Andrew Akoja reviewed the cases, presented witnesses and tendered evidence, including the defendants' extrajudicial statements and the items recovered during their arrest. On Olaoluwa, the judge sentenced him to 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 500,000 naira. The convict also forfeited his iPhone 13 Pro Max and $410 to the government. Justice Saliman also sentenced Lamidi to 4 months imprisonment on a fine of 150,000 naira on count 1, 3 months imprisonment or a fine of 100,000 naira on count 2, and 2 months imprisonment or a fine of 50,000 naira on count 3. Academic Staff Union of Universities, Taraba State University, has suspended its strike, which began on December 5th, 2024. This is contained in a statement released in Jalingo, the state capital, on Saturday and signed by the chairperson of the union in the university, Dr. Garba Joshua. The union leader said the strike was due to the Taraba State government's partial implementation of agreements with the union, including funding of the university, payment of earned academic allowances, staff pension and gratuity, backlog of salaries, the constitution of a governing council, and minimum wage adjustments. Joshua will thank the state governor, Agbu Kefas, for his intervention and leadership in resolving the issues that led to the strike. Also appreciated the Ministry of Tertiary Education, the university management, and the public for their understanding and supporting during the strike. He said the government during the negotiations committed to addressing the issues including enhancing university funding in line with Taraba State Law No. 4 of 2008 and disposing 10% of the total and academic allowance arrears, with 5% to be paid monthly starting February 2025. Joshua also reaffirmed the union's commitment to fostering a harmonious academic environment for the benefits of students, staff, and the university community. With the suspension of the strike, the second semester examination, which was cut short as a result of the strike, is expected to continue in the coming days. Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Aisha Maikudi, has said that the university will soon commence a Confucius Institute, which deals with Chinese language learning and culture program. Maikudi disclosed this on Saturday while welcoming students from China's Tsinghua University's School of Journalism and Communications to the institution. China's Confucius Institutes are public educational and cultural promotion programs which aim to promote the Chinese language and culture, supports local Chinese language Mandarin, teaching internationally, and facilitate cultural exchanges. She said that the University of Abuja is a close partner of China based on its long-standing relationship with the country, adding that her students were already studying some Mandarin courses. The VC expressed her delight at the visit and assured the delegation of the university's full cooperation. Earlier, Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Donghai, who led the delegation, described the University of Abuja as one of the best in Africa and expressed hope for greater collaboration. Also speaking, the head of the Department of Political Science and an expert on China-Africa relations, Dr. Sharif Ibrahim, said the exchange program between the two universities would enhance mutual cultural understanding. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has shut down a pharmacy on Onisha Crescent, area 11 Garki Abuja, for selling expired and unregistered drugs. This was made known in a statement shared on X, formerly Twitter, on Saturday. The action followed a tip-off from a concerned citizen, prompting an enforcement operation by NAFDAC officials. During the raid, the team discovered expired products valued at over 7 million naira, including H. pylori tablets, which pose serious risks to public health. The pharmacy's managing director and superintendent pharmacists were arrested for questioning as part of the investigation. NAFDAC urges the public to remain vigilant when purchasing regulated products and report suspicious activities to the nearest NAFDAC office. No fewer than 50 persons lost their lives in a petrol tanker explosion on Saturday along Diko Meje Road opposite Badeji Fueling Station in Suleja local government area of Niger. Mr. Kumar Sukwam, Federal Road Safety Commander in Niger, confirmed this to the newsman in Mina. He said a loaded petrol tanker fell at the scene of the incident with people scooping the spilling fuel, unaware of the impending danger. Sukwam said those who went to scoop fuel were engulfed by the flames, just as those who went to rescue them were also affected. More than 50 people lost their lives in the tragic incident. He, however, assured that personnel of the Corps and other sister agencies were on ground for the rescue mission. Sukwam confirmed that his men were on the scene, working tirelessly to rescue those trapped. Similarly, Alhaji Abdullahi Babaara, Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency said the explosion occurred at about 9 a.m. on Saturday. He said the incident happened when a tanker loaded with premium motor spirit crashed and an attempt was made to transfer its contents to another tanker. In the process, the PMS came into contact with a generator used to effect the transfer, triggering an explosion that claimed over 50 lives. Labour Party in Nasarawa State has reiterated his commitment to continue to give maximum support to the national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, to enable him to take the party to greater heights. The state chapter of the Labour Party also congratulated Abure on his victory at the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja, which validated the party's March 2024 National Convention in Nnewi, Anambra State, and affirmed his position as the party's national chairman. The Court of Appeal, presided by Justice Hama Barka, relied on its judgment earlier delivered on November 13, 2024, in a appeal number between the Labour Party appellant against Chief Olushola Ebesini and the Independent National Electoral Commission respondents to make the declaration. This was contained in a press statement made available to journalists in Lafia, the state capital, on Saturday by the state chairman, Alexander Ombugu. According to statement, Ombugu said the court's decision was a testament to the strength of Nigeria's legal system and the Labour Party's dedication to democratic principles. He commended the presiding judge for compelling the Independent National Electoral Commission to validate and recognize the Abure-led leadership of the party. He further appealed to all aggrieved members of the party to put aside their differences and settle all the issues amicably in order to ensure victory for the party during the 2027 general election. Gombe State Police Command has apprehended 4 suspects accused of stealing armored cables from community transformers in Hain-Kwari Misau quarters. The suspects identify as Abdul Kadir Abdullahi, 25 years old, Abdul Malik Hassan, also known as Gambo, 25 years old, Nafiu Babayo, 28 years old, and Abubakar Meigari, 32 years old, were arrested on Thursday following a tip-off from a community member. Deputy Superintendent of Police Buhari Abdullahi, the public relations officer of the Gombe State Police Command, said they received information from Abubakar Suleiman of Hain-Kwari Misau quarters that a group of boys was spotted with armored cables suspected to be stolen. He stated that while acting on the tip, a divisional police officer led a patrol team to the area, resulting in the arrest of the 4 suspects. The stolen items include 20 meters of 300mm armored cable and 20 meters of 500mm armored cable. The suspects are expected to be charged to court upon the conclusion of the investigation. DSP Abdullahi commended the vigilance of the community, has stated the command's dedication to addressing crime. The police urged the public to report any suspicious activities and assured residents of the commitment to safeguarding lives and property. President Bola Tinubu has extended condolences to Fuji Metro, Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, and also known as K1 Ultimate, over the demise of his mother, Alhaja Halima Anifo Woshe. The president reached out to K1 on Saturday, and the Fuji legend shared the news of their telephone conversation on Instagram. K1 announced his mother's death on Saturday on his official media page, featuring a photo with his late mother. Inspector General of Police Kayode Igbetokun on Saturday ordered the distribution of new kits and uniforms to personnel of the Nigerian police force in other ranks as part of ongoing efforts to improve officers' welfare and enhance professionalism. This was disclosed in a statement by the force public relations officer Olumoyiwa Adejobi on Saturday. Well, according to the statement, the initiative aligns with the IG's vision to foster better working conditions and elevates the standards of professionalism within the force. Igbetokun also expressed optimism that the implementation of the 2025 budget would enable additional welfare-focused projects to support officers in effectively discharging their duties. The statement added that the Nigerian police force remains dedicated to maintaining a well-equipped and motivated workforce for the safety and security of all Nigerians. National Assembly has frowned upon what it described as the avoidable explosions of compressed natural gas, urging the federal government to conduct thorough adaptability tests or research in the causes and recommend necessary adjustments. The Parliament noted that the frequent explosions of some vehicles already converted from petrol-powered automobiles to CNG-powered ones. This observation was made during the ongoing 2025 budget defense session by the Joint Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Petroleum Upstream and Gas on Friday in Abuja, where the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources was represented by the two Ministers of State. The Assembly also decried the 903 million naira earmarked for capital project execution by the Ministry of Petroleum in the 2025 fiscal year. A member of the committee, Honorable Hafilat Ogbala, after expressing concern, sought an explanation from the Minister of State for Gas, Honorable Ekberikpe Ekpo, regarding the way forward to address the frequent explosions of vehicles. Similarly, Natasha Apoti Udoga inquired whether adaptability tests or research had been conducted before implementing the CNG initiative in the country. In response, the Minister of State for Gas explained that a presidential committee on CNG had carried out the necessary adaptability test or research before operationalizing the CNG initiative in Nigeria. He stated that investigations conducted by his ministry in collaboration with the Presidential Committee revealed that all CNG converted vehicles that had exploded were not converted at certified centers. We're going on a short break. When we come back, ATN.
You enjoy 10 times your recharge, double data, and other retirement via *301#.
Never finish a 1,000 naira welcome bonus for voice and data.
Is your line blocked? You can quickly go to any Glow World shop or SIM registration center near you and link your NIN to your Glow line right now. Got no NIN? Visit the nearest NIMC office, get an NIN, and then link it to your Glow line. NIN registration is free, so reconnect with Glow today.
Many thanks for staying with us. You're watching the Global News in Atlantic Television Network. And on to our stories. Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has restrained the Federal Road Safety Course from arresting vehicles with faded number plates. Justice Akintayo Aluko made the order on Friday and also restricted the FRSC from imposing any fine or punishment on any drivers for driving with a faded vehicle plate number. The court made the orders while delivering judgment in a suit filed by a legal practitioner, Chumike Chamsi. Ezebube, in his originating summons filed on February 13, 2024, had asked the court to determine, among other things, whether the defendants pursuant to Section 5, sub G and Section 10, subsection 3F of the Federal Road Safety Commission Act 2007, being the sole designer and producer of vehicle number plates in Nigeria, is not absolutely responsible for the quality and durability of the vehicle number plates as are produced by it. The lawyer asked the court to determine these issues in his favor. He also urged the court to make the following orders and order restricting the Federal Road Safety Commission from declaring it an offense for the plaintiff to drive with a faded vehicle number plate. However, the FRC, through its lawyer, B.O. Namani, filed a counter affidavit asking the court to the plaintiff's suit with punitive cost. Delivering judgment on the suit, Justice Aluko held that while defendants cannot criminalize the use of faded vehicle number plates, plaintiff has a duty to approach defendants for a replacement of his faded vehicle number plate upon payment of the requisite fees for that purpose, adding that the defendant cannot criminalize the use of faded vehicle number plates and has no power to impose a fine on plaintiff for using faded vehicle number plate or impound the plaintiff vehicle on such grounds without the order of court of competent jurisdiction. And now we move on to ATN business news. Pump prices of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, have risen to between 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira per litre, depending on the area of purchase, following the hike in the cost of the commodity by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and various depot owners. Dealers confirmed that PF prices would continue to rise since the major component in fuel production, crude oil, has been on the upward swing lately. The national president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Festus Osifo, earlier alluded to these when he pointed out that petrol prices might soon rise if the cost of crude oil continued to increase. On Friday, there was an upward adjustment in the price of petrol produced by the Dangote Petrochemical Refinery. The $20 billion plant raised its PMS from 899 naira per litre to 955 naira per litre at its landing gantry. The refinery, in an email statement sent to its customers and obtained by one of our correspondents, said its refined products would now be priced at no cost. It noted that marketers buying between 2 million and 4.99 million litres would now buy at 955 naira per litre, while 5 million litres and above would buy at 950 naira per litre. The amount marks an increase of 55.5 naira or 6.17% from 899.50 naira per litre announced as a holiday discount for Nigerians last December. Findings show that private depots, despite having old stocks, increased their loading costs to 970 naira in Lagos and 1,000 naira in Calabar. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has urged members of the public to disregard purported recruitment announcements for the Port Harcourt refining company. ATN reports a purported recruitment notice has been circulating in online platforms. However, a statement by the Chief Corporate Communications Officer, NNPC Limited, Olufemi Osonoye, said there is no ongoing recruitment for the refinery. The company clarified that there is no separate recruitment process for the Port Harcourt refinery other than the one which started last year, which also includes all NNPC Limited's businesses, with successful candidates at the computer-based aptitude test proceedings for the interview stage this week. The company calls on members of the public to be wary of the ploy and not fall for it. You're still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next is International Tidbits. Thousands gathered in Northern Liberia on Saturday for the funeral of warlord-turned politician Prince Johnson, a notorious face of the country's brutal civil wars, who died without facing trial. Back-to-back conflicts devastated the small West African country from 1989 until 2003, claiming around 250,000 lives and resulting in massacres, mutilation, rape, cannibalism, and the widespread use of child soldiers. Johnson became infamous in 1990 after appearing in a video sipping beer and being found by a woman as he calmly watched his fighter slowly mutilate and torture President Samuel Doto to death. The former rebel leader was identified as having the highest number of violations by any individual perpetrator during the gruesome wars, according to a 2009 Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. He said his crimes spanned killing, extortion, massacre, destruction of property, forced recruitment, assault, abduction, torture, forced labor, and rape. Park on Saturday. Magpies were looking to set a club record effective victory in October last week by the Sharks, who were themselves now on an 11-game unbeaten streak. Clivet, son of former Newcastle striker Patrick Clivet, was the star of the show before Miller's Kakes fired in the fourth in stoppage time. Defeat leaves Newcastle in the fourth bout, now just 1 point clear of Bournemouth. In the wait just 2 minutes more to take the lead when Semenyo's cutback was swept into the far corner by Kluivert. Newcastle were shell-shocked in the early stages, but looked to have restored some of that when Bruno's corner. Women's Super League club Arsenal on Friday announced the appointment of Renee Sledges as head coach on a permanent basis following successful spell as interim boss. The 35-year-old was placed in temporary charge of the Gunners after Jonas Idval resigned in October following a campaign. Arsenal's Aaron Bitton under the former Netherlands midfielder winning 10 and drawing one of their. Claire Whitley, Arsenal's director of women's football, said they are delighted to appoint Renee as a permanent head. Excelled during her time as interim head coach, bringing their team, club and supporters together. The Gunners are third in the Women's Super League, 7 points behind leaders and defending champions Chelsea. Arsenals have not won the WSL title since 2019, with Chelsea dominating in recent seasons. West Bromwich Albion caretaker manager Chris Brandt has lamented Josh Maja's injury. The Baggies confirmed this week Maja will be sidelined for several weeks after sustaining lower leg injury. Brandt claimed the forward will be dismissed by the club. The 26-year-old has scored 12 league goals for Albion this season. Well, that's it on the sports news, and now we're moving to entertainment news. Singer Davido has reacted to his colleague Spyro's allegations that his associate, Ubi Franklin, used his name to scam him. Spyro had alleged in a recent interview that he was deceived by Franklin into performing at a birthday party in Ghana under the guise of a request from Davido. He claimed that Franklin refused to pay him after the event, despite agreeing to pay him $5,000 for the performance. Responding to Spyro's allegations, Franklin claimed that he withheld the money because the singer also owed him some money. The music executive claimed that Spyro was supposed to pay him 10% for facilitating his recent car purchase. He said he withheld the $5,000 as part of his payments from the car deal, stressing that the singer still owes him ₦2 million. The accusation and counter-accusation elicited mixed reactions, with Davido also on the receiving end. Reacting, Davido simply apologized for the involvement of his name in the saga. Well, that's the size of our package on the global news for tonight. Before we go, a recap of the major stories. We told you that Cybercrime Training Center in AFCC uncovers Cybercrime Training Center in Edo State.